Hi. So this is my first time doing a movie review on a video. Because previously I've always posting my thoughts on movies that I watch on my Facebook posts. So I'm trying to change things up a little bit. Anyway, I recently went back to the cinema after a long time. It's been 4 months. I really miss going to the cinema. And the movie that I watched was none other than Peninsula, the sequel to the popular Train To Busan movie. So let's get to it. Okay, so here's my spoiler-free review of the movie. Hashtag no spoilers. I think as a follow-up to the hugely successful Train To Busan, it's the logical way to set this setting as an apocalyptic environment. You obviously can't do another Train To Busan a concept again, right? It doesn't make sense. You can actually watch this movie as on its own. Like, you don't need to watch the first one to get what's happening, because it's every zombie movie ever. Someone gets infected, chaos spread, and survivors try to survive. And as a gamer, I really like what they did with the setting, because it really felt like this is a Resident Evil Raccoon City environment, right? Except that the zombies are super fast. And there are some Mad Max vibe as well. There are some car chases seen around, which I think is commendable. Is it can be better, but I think they did a good job. The actions are good. The intensity was good, and they really know how to make you feel like you're at the edge of your seat, just hoping the survivors will make it. And of course, as a Korean movie, there's bound to be crying, and trust me, there's a lot of crying at the end. This is Korean style, what can I say? As for the story, I think it's pretty straightforward. They'll just tell you what's gonna happen in the movie, and yeah, that's basically it. There's no plot twist or whatever, which I think is actually one of the weaker point of the movie. Like, you can smell a mile away what's gonna happen. In other words, it's predictable. So but I think what the movie really lacks compared with Train To Busan is that I don't find it as emotionally investing as Train To Busan. Because in Train To Busan, the main character Gong Yu, I believe that's his name. Like, he started off as a pretty crappy father, but as the story progresses, you start to see changes in him, and you root for him. And in the end, he made his redemption, sacrifice. Yeah. And in Peninsula, they did actually try to set up a premise for the main character, like the things he had to go through. We understand his motivation, but I think with his script, I think he didn't have a lot to do with it. It's mostly action, and yes, there are some crime scenes, but it's not as impactful as Train To Busan. As for the other characters, I think it's safe to say that most of the audience won't really care what happens to them. Again, I'm not saying they are badly written, it's just that they're just there for a purpose. And none of them really have that connection that you see, just like Gong Yu and his daughter in Train To Busan. Also, another thing, I can't help but think that there's this particular scene in the movie, which is quite early on, no spoilers. When I was watching that, I can't help to think that, wow, this is a really long product placement scene. And okay, well. Also, some of the graphic choices in the movie are kind of questionable, but I think it can be done better if they had the actual location to do all the stunts, all the explosions, the cars, like Mad Max. So this is just nitpicking, but without getting into any spoilers, there were some scenes that took place in Hong Kong, and even though I don't speak any Cantonese, I could still tell that, man, that's really bad. The pronunciation was pretty bad. Like, even I myself, I don't speak Cantonese, but oh man, that was bad. But anyway, overall, I still enjoyed the movie watching in cinema. I think you can enjoy this watching in cinema too. I think it's worth it. If you guys watched the movie already, let me know in the comments below and let me know what you think. So that's all I gotta say. Bye.